Bate, good morning. Let's just bring you right into the conversation. Injuries galore at Santa Clara. You've been down there, been following you on social media, doing a hell of a job. We appreciate all the coverage you're doing there, talking to all these guys. Mike Evans, quad, something or nothing?
I was told it was nothing. I was told if it was a game, he would play. But you never know, right? It's a quad, and it could linger, and it's Mike Evans. Just bubble wrap him. I don't need to see him for the next couple weeks because when he's out there, he's cooking dudes. Like, he's Mike Evans.
Oh, is he?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, I know everybody saw social media. He ran out one route with Deebo, and it was clunky in the little one-on-ones. I saw him actually run a pivot route that cooked up and stout. It could have been Renardo Green. And Renardo Green has had a good camp, believe it or not. Renardo Green looks the part, man. He's played his ass off with Jack Jones now in camp, pushing him to be that starter. But Mike Evans he's a stud, dude. I'm not worried about him whatsoever. But I understand why fans would be upset about the injuries because it happens every single year. It's what derailed last season. And so when you see Dejon Stribling after 1 day in pads come up with hamstring tightness, I watched him on the side field yesterday. Looks like he's getting closer. But we all know the Shanahan system. You're a rookie wide receiver, and you don't get reps. You ain't playing. And guess who's back getting all the reps? Deebo Samuel.
Yep.
And you know who else is performing well in camp? Demarcus Robinson. And he did that last year. But remember, he got suspended for the first 3 games, which really derailed all the momentum he had rolling going into the regular season. So Stribling better get back, or he could be number 4 in that depth chart. I don't think anybody would be happy about that.
What was the sentiment around the team of the last couple of days regarding the news of Ricky Pearsall? I know everyone's obviously excited for Deebo. It sounds like Deebo was in the works independent of Ricky, but they coincided at around the same time, and so I just feel bad for the guy. I'm bummed.
Yeah, I mean, they've been practicing business as usual. I think they kind of knew what was going on with Ricky Pearsall before the announcement made about the PCL injury. So, but I will say this, not having George Kittle on that football field, obviously he's one of their better players. The last 2 practices have been very forgettable. And just kind of like, other than Fred and Greenlaw bringing the juice and going sideline to sideline, defense has been humming. But no Bosa in team drills, right? So you don't get that elite pass rush coming off the edge. Just individuals right now. Just straight up individuals. You don't have George Kittle out there making plays and blocking dudes and being loud and being animated. So there's something lacking in these last 2 practices. Plus, when you get all these guys out, you're just like, all right, whatever. It's kind of like, for me, it sounds crazy, but I noticed the substation for the first time in my life, and they cut the trees down, and the substation just looks, it's like it grew legs or something. Like, I don't know.
What did I say?
It's just out there. It's out there. And you're just like, damn. Like, I remember looking for houses, and there was like this little electrical plant, and I was like, there's no way we're moving here. Are you out of your mind? So, I don't know, man. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I don't think it really has much to do with the injuries. I'm going to lean on Fred Warner when he says, I've been here for a long time. I've rarely been hurt. But it's just hard.
Did you see my post yesterday?
Oh, God.
No, which one? You posted a lot, man. I just see your face all over my timeline. Dude, I've seen your face more than Anna's, man. It's a problem.
Lucky you.
Sounds like
it's a great problem to have.
Different problem, but that's okay. No, I was saying that basically, like, I'm dead serious on this. If I was the Niners, just quiet the getting aggregated online, I would put up like golf posts, like it's Top Golf, and put some sort of a dark green netting or tarp or whatever. He wants
to tarp it like Mount Davis.
Yeah, like you wouldn't see it, and then I would sell advertisements. No, I'm dead serious. So that all the people taking videos from the field, like it would just be a green wall, like it was a baseball outfield wall. Like, I'm dead serious on that.
They might do that. You can sell some ads.
Yeah.
Put Levi's there.
That's exactly what I said.
Toyota, right?
You get Team Hennessy or something. Yeah, that's
Team Hennessy. There you go.
It's very noticeable, and everybody's talking about it.
It's very noticeable,
and everybody's talking about Shanahan's accident. But I mean, look, this team, they've got a lot of veterans. If they're healthy, this offense is going to hum. And look, they're excited about Raheem Morris's scheme. You're starting to see a lot more 5-man fronts in his defense. You're starting to see some 5-2. Jair Brown says that he feels free. Okay, we'll see about that. Jair Brown. We'll see about how he performs in this scheme, but it seems like Raheem Morris, these players have been very receptive to his philosophy when it comes to defense. He's kind of simplified the back end when it comes to the secondary, but he's running a lot of different fronts with that front seven. So I guess the one concern I have with defense, I'll say this: who's playing D tackle opposite of Big Osa, right? Odigizua. Who's playing D tackle opposite of him?
Who has it been in practice?
It's been Sebastian Valdez. Remember, he barely made the 53-man. I don't even think he made the 53-man last year. I think he was on the practice squad all season. Alfred Collins supposed to get that guy, but he's a two-down guy. He's a guy that you want that gets to run. He's not much of a pass rusher. That's why, for the first time in a long time, when I hear things like, Niners should go trade for Vita Vea, I'm actually on that. I'm like, yeah, they probably should. Because opposite of that, opposite of Osa, I'm really concerned about that other D tackle.
How's, you mentioned the head coach, like, how's he doing out there? Obviously having that car accident, removed from that. And, we were talking to a bunch of different beat writers last week about it. Just, it's not so much the vision for Kyle dealing with the concussion. It's been more auditory and just sound in general. What have you noticed from the head coach?
Yeah, he's been out there more and more and more. He broke the team down yesterday. He was standing next to a speaker on Saturday where they was playing like all the beats. Jack, you know how the DJ turns it up there. And he's playing the blaring beat. So, look, there's no doubt in my mind he's getting on that flight to Melbourne, Australia, and he's going to be coaching this football team week 1. Now, will he coach this team in the preseason against Tennessee next week? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to coach preseason week 2. But I have no doubt in my mind after he addressed the team for the first time Saturday, he's coaching week 1 against the LA Rams down in Melbourne, Australia. I don't think that's even a question.
I think his competitive juices will do that. Remember how pissed he was when he was on Pro Football Talk Live when Florio asked him about the Melbourne trip and LaFleur was on there and he was so damn pissed about having to go there. So I think out of spite alone, Bonte, you might be right about Shanahan going over to Australia week 1. And Bonte, for the entire hour presented by Ceremony Ford, your Bay Area Ford store, and courtesy of the River Islands Guest Line. All right, let's pivot now to the big talking points of today in the last 24 hours, obviously, in the Bays. MLB trade deadline has come and gone. The Giants departed with 6 of their players, Bonte. Elliot Ramos to the Yankees, Arraez and Killian to the Phillies, Robbie Ray to the Padres, Eric Miller to the Red Sox, and Tyler Mahle to the Braves. Where do you want to start with all of that?
Wherever you want to start. Wherever you want to start.
I guess, they did what they had to do, right? Yesterday. And on one level, I'm extremely encouraged. I'm optimistic to see these young players. They have to develop them. They have to come up through the system. I don't know, man. There's just a lot going on with the team right now. And they don't have nobody in the rotation for next year. They don't have a closer. They don't have a left fielder. They really don't have a true everyday center fielder. I don't know what they're doing at catcher. Second base is up in the air. They still have a logjam at first base, third base. I don't know. I have more questions than I have answers, though I thought it was a nice day for Buster overall. It's hard for me to throw like a ticker taper parade and be, optimistic. It's like, dude, you're 20 games under. Like, I don't know. I feel like a hater, though, being like, guys, like, it sucks that we had to say goodbye to Arraez.
Listen, I find it funny when people are over the top saying, Buster cooked. How do we know? We don't know what the hell these prospects are going to be. I've never heard of these guys before. I'm not going to pretend like I've heard of these guys. Like, I swear to God, like I see rankings, okay, cool. But we see prospects not work out all the time. I'm encouraged with some of the stuff I seen. The guy from Philly was in Marquez. Like, all right, Philly fans are pissed off about that. All right, let's see it. The young man from Boston who was a high prospect, 6'3". He's 6'3", 220. What is it, Mayer?
Yeah, Marcelo Mayer.
Marcelo Mayer. So I'm not mad about that move. You got off of Eric Miller. Nobody's going to miss Eric Miller. No, and Ramos, I see a lot of fake love for Ramos. People are ready to run Ramos out of town last season. I mean, they stop with the fake love. Like, oh, my God, homegrown, all-star. I get it. He was a nice player. And I like Ramos a lot, man. Very personable. But let's not act like he was some great stud. No. I mean, they will be fine, I think, in the future. Now, you got something for him, right? Buster did what he had to do in phase 1 of what I call this reconstruction of the Giants. This was phase 1. You got off expiring contracts, right? Luis Arraez, you did something Farhan wouldn't do where he would flip expiring contracts. You just keep the players and just let them expire. You got something for Robbie Ray. You got something for Luis Arraez. You made something out of Tyler Malley and sent them down to the Braves for a journeyman. You did what you had to do. But there's a lot of work to be done with this franchise. Now, you mentioned first base. I'm okay with Devers and Eldridge at first base moving forward. I am. I saw those numbers last night since May 1st for Rafael Devers. He hasn't come through in big spots all the time, but the guy's putting up numbers. He's been the top 10 hitter in the national. I was going to say, I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. He's the least of their issues of the big three. Yeah. It's just they're in a conundrum, and this is kind of like Arraez. Like, you had to say goodbye to Arraez because other big paid players aren't performing, and the team's expectations are so bad. And I feel like Rafi will be a victim of the Giants' circumstance as opposed to his specific performance. Yeah, he's been fine. And I don't think Bryce Eldridge is quite ready yet to play full-time first base.
I would agree.
He's getting better, but he needs a lot of work there. So I don't mind. And Devers has actually played okay at first base. He's got a lot better there with the glove. Willy Adames and Matt Chapman. Now, Matt Chapman's out with the abdominal, and he had a setback. And I'm sure they would have loved to get off of him because you got Casey Schmidt coming back. I think everybody at this point would just rather see Casey Schmidt and see what he could do over a full 162. May not be able to play a full 162. Who knows? But he's got the torn meniscus. I think they will try to move one of those guys, Adames or Chapman, in the offseason, especially with the lockout looming. How many teams are going to take on that money? How many big contracts were even moved yesterday?
Not
a lot of guys that were moved. Expiry contracts, not a lot of big boy contracts. So that leads me to Willy Adames, who's been probably the biggest disappointment since he's been signed. And I want to make it clear, we're all happy when Willy Adames signed.
Sure.
Well, players got to perform. You know, I hear Posey getting all the heat, and he deserves some blame for the way he looked at the bullpen situation coming into the season. But Willy Adames, my God, at shortstop, at the dish.
Thank you.
I mean, what was it, Saturday night? Or was it Sunday?
The ground ball.
You knew he was striking out in the 8th inning.
How about the ground ball with bases loaded, 2 outs, and it goes right up the middle, goes right through his glove.
Two runs scored.
But he couldn't pick the ball up the ground, and it's like he didn't even care.
So who's going to take on that contract? Not many, and I don't think the Giants right now are interested in eating a lot of money off that contract. So I get the disappointment, but it was going to be hard to move off of one of those big boy contracts. So right now you got to give it an incomplete. You got to see what these minor league prospects are going to do. But that was phase one, and I thought Posey did well in phase one of the reconstruction of the San Francisco Giants.